Kibs is
Kill yourself.
taken off as a full-time streamer and is now developing a video game.
Taking
also-
off? What the
yeah.
fuck are you talking about?
Flying away. He's like, no, come back. No, come back.
Alright, Kibs, I have to sabotage you.
See, I didn't think if I could do full time and make it full streaming, but it turns out I can, and apparently grow. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner.
The only thing holding me back at this point is
There
my
already is a decade
is my inability to work steadily.
Is your inability to develop a work ethic? That's correct, Dev.
Because,
what's the issue, Dev?
Well, like, if I put out videos every day for a few weeks, my channel, like, the algorithm revs up and my channel just goes wild. I can put out anything I want. Right now, I'm suffering from fucking allergies. Gee, okay, you know what? So, when I was growing up, never had allergies. Ever. Right? Spring, fall, didn't matter. But now that I'm, like, in my 30s, holy shit, I feel like I'm shutting down for weeks at a time. My head is, like, just swollen up, and I can't breathe. I can't think, and I'm just like,
Let's see. Over the last 30 days, Dev has published 16 videos. That's your issue. You only publish videos half the day. You need to do more work, Dev.
Yes, I know. But when my head is like this, I can't write anything. I can barely think.
Who cares about writing things, Dev?
Stream.
Huh?
No, I have to... Listen, if I just put out shit, no one's gonna like it. I gotta actually think about the videos that I do. The past 3 days has just been me, like, holding my head, trying to get a thought together, and it completely fucking failing. Popping Benadryl, trying to, like, fucking get awake. Jesus, I hate fucking allergies. I hate them.
If Total Biscuit behaved like you, he would have died of cancer.
Wait.
He did, which means, sorry, Dev.
I guess I'm on my way out.
Don't make the joke about it either. You'll get it.
That's how it happens. When you joke about it.
It's very tragic. I would never think about joking about it.
I'm just hoping that I'll be fit for thinking and writing again come tomorrow, because I feel like I'm coming to the end of it. Christ.
You're still sick?
Not sick. I have allergies right now.
Okay.
The fall is happening. All the leaves are coming
Wrong
down.
culture.
Being sick and then going on a trip and then having allergies. I've missed out on like 2 weeks worth of news cycles. Fuck.
Get better, loser. No.
God damn it. Fuck you.
Sounds like a skill issue.
A skill issue?
Speaking of low fucking standards, Dev. I'm shitting on Google Stadia. Fucking hell, Dev. Jesus Christ, Dev.
Hey, what's wrong with
You're
that?
talking about low hanging fucking fruit.
Hey,
Jesus
listen.
Christ.
That was a decent video that I made.
Jesus Christ, Dev.
I saved up links since 2019 to compile a little mini history of the Stadia from like announcement to launch to ending, and I put it all into a nice little 12-minute package. Yeah, that was a decent little video. I stand by it.
It could have been a 2-minute video, Dev. Google Stadia sucks. It was always gonna suck.
Well, yeah, of course.
Goodbye.
But I wanted to have details. I wanted to have deep lore.
This is why you failed, Dev.
Why?
This is why your last video was 3 days ago, not 1 day ago.
No, my last video 3 days ago because I've been lying in my bed with an inflated head. I want to point out that this series that I do here with you guys, my friends, this is easily the least watched thing on my channel. It's probably tanking my channel in the algorithm, but I don't care because I have fun doing it. We're still gonna watch some garbage show after this one's done.
This kind of series, what this does is this is for your core audience, because your core audience that are there for you will watch this.
Yeah.
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 It strengthens your core audience, so it's worth doing and investing.
And I promise you, I need a strengthened core, that's for sure. Enough nonsense. We're gonna get to it. Let's go.
Press the button.
No, not yet, Kibs. Impatient Kibs. As always, there's a few things to discuss real quick. So, we probably should have talked about this last week, but it kind of flew over my head. Did you all see this, where the Amazon analyst said that he fell asleep watching Rings of Power?
No, I have
They
not.
didn't pay him enough.
Yeah. So he basically, there was a guy who was hired to like watch the show, and he fell asleep during it. It's like, oh well. And yeah, Amazon is actually quite worried about the show, about how much of a bust that it is.
To the point that they're finally slicing those disgusting Twitch streamers' salaries. Fuck those people.
Hey, I'm one of those people.
Yeah,
Good.
me too.
How
me
dare
too.
you.
How
Yeah,
dare
good.
you?
Like I'm saying.
How
Where's
fucking
my
dare
paycheck?
you? Yeah, Kibs, you stream on Twitch too.
Although I am...
You're all fucking a sunbite.
Oh yeah, I do get a paycheck from him. Yay!
Not anymore, you don't. Speaking of streamers, though, Arch, do you guys remember the Rings of Power superfans?
Yes. It
Think
was
back.
hilarious.
Think back.
Oh,
We're
God.
talking
German had
like
a fat
6
woman.
months ago. Amazon hired 3 influencers, specifically influencers,
The Fellowship of Influencers.
to come in and talk about how good the Rings of Power looked like it was going to be after that first trailer dropped.
with absolutely no gun pointed behind their heads.
Wasn't a gun, it was a giant fat paycheck.
Every time I was like, okay, take a breath, something new would happen, and it was,
It's Middle Earth, there's never peace, right?
If like Sauron is hot, I feel like people will be like, I can fix him.
Middle Earth had like a club. Yo, this tune is banging!
Awestruck, mystified, and starstruck.
Wow.
So I decided to look them up because they're, they are influencers on YouTube, and like I think one of them has a couple 100,000 subs or something. Like I think maybe one of them was like primarily a TikToker. I don't know. These 3 influencers who were paid so much to come on and promote the Lord of the Rings of Power. Since that promotion all those months ago, and throughout the entire run of the show, they have not said a single fucking thing about it.
Isn't that funny? Because they were never interested. You know what makes me mad about this is there are actually dedicated Lord of the Rings YouTubers out there that talk about the lore, that talk about the games. They're actually a Lord of the Rings YouTubing community or content creator community. Why didn't they reach out to them?
Why didn't they reach out? Okay, Kyle. I know you're
why.
very, very retarded,
You
but let
idiot.
me lay this out for you.
Quit being literal. You know what I mean. I already know what I mean, but I'm pointing it out.
That's because they wanted out of it. Like, that's the same reason why they haven't talked about it. This was a fucking ad.
It came out yesterday that Rings of Power has been slipping massively in the ratings, so has House of the Dragon, but not nearly as much. And that, funnily enough, Cobra Kai has overtaken both of them.
That's not funnily enough, like, Cobra Kai was actually not bad. Like, granted, it's cliched as fuck. It is a stupid goddamn show, and I hate so much about it. But yeah,
What's it
exactly.
about?
That's the thing. It's supposed to be.
Tell me.
Like, it fully embraces the fact that it's supposed to be a very retarded show.
It's just funny to see that this is basically how Rings of Power has been, tumbling over the course of these past 8 weeks.
Like, the thing is, that is the great failure of the Rings of Power. This is how you know that it is an absolute failure. The Rings of Power has managed to achieve what George R.R. Martin always wanted, to be better than Tolkien. And he's finally done it. He has a show that's better than a Lord of the Rings show.
Not only the normies, but even the people who are themselves ideologically captured, they're turning on this. So on Polygon, the Rings of Power is holding Galadriel back. Amazon's show hasn't earned the elf warrior's emotional journey. So like even Polygon's a shit website run by shit people, but even they are seeing that this is actually really bad. This is actually a really bad show. And you see another one like this. It's time to admit that Rings of Power is just fan fiction. Everyone, even people who are, let's say, politically aligned to see this show succeed, even they are saying, no, it's a failure.
Well, 2 reasons. One, their position is by now thoroughly indefensible. Like, episode 7 is one of the worst pieces of television ever fucking created from virtually every single standpoint. And so it is simply far more profitable to attack it. Besides, it's almost over, and Amazon Pays check isn't coming. There's no reason not to. And 2, to the Rings of Power's credit, limited though it may be, it has not been particularly woke. It hasn't been banging the drum in the actual story. It did so in casting, sure as hell, but in the actual story, it hasn't been political, it's just been shit.
Yep. Oh, I guess one last thing before we start, since I don't know if you mentioned it during the recording or before I turned it on or whatever. My head's not exactly in it right. I'm currently floating away on medication. But Taftaj isn't here with us. She's not feeling well. R.I.P. hopefully she'll be back for the next show. But this is the finale.
Nah, she's dead.
She's dead? Oh, okay. Rip.
Not joking.
This is it, Kibs. The final time you get to press play. Unless you want to watch season 2 of this thing.
You
Don't
insist,
worry, it's
Dev.
2 years away.
Look, it's Amazon. Oh my god, wow, it's a little smiley face.
Previously.
I hit the recap button.
Look, it's poppies. We're in Afghanistan.
It's raining, actually.
It rains in Afghanistan.
No, it doesn't. Never.
Yeah, it does.
How
Wait.
water get there, kid? It doesn't. That was a neat establishing shot. That's probably the best part of this whole episode, I bet.
Him humping a rock for 2 seconds.
Yeah, basically. Listen, the bar's low.
You know, I always feel bad for actors like this. You know, they're given a soaked piece of cloth and just be like, go huddle in the rain for 5 minutes. Like, oh.
I don't feel that bad considering how much they're paid.
And 5 minutes is like 5 hours. Because, you know, they have to get all the shots. And...
like 50 takes.
Yeah.
No,
Kind of annoying,
stranger.
just-
Wait, it's just an apple. That was a
My
remarkably
apple, no.
weak buck.
Black track.
Oh, what the...
You cut out there, Kibs, what'd you say?
I
I'm
said,
like,
how the fuck the apple get over there? It's like 30 feet away.
It rolled, man.
and
listen,
roll down the hill.
You ever, like, you're at your desk and you drop something, and then you look down and it's, like, across the room and out into the hallway, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, that happens. Oh, look, it's an apparition. See? I called it. It was an apparition. It's evil. Kill it.
It's
We're
actually that short-haired, white-haired girl. Yep.
the real Slim Shady. Oh, dum dum dum. Would you like an apple?
Nobody bad has ever offered an apple.
I really hate the armor of that chick in particular.
No.
So, somebody owes me a blowjob. Dev, down.
No.
Hold on.
Down, Dev. Come now.
Wait. I was the one who...
Down, Dev.
No. I was the one who
No.
bet Mahler that this would be... That
Yeah,
this
but
would...
you were doubting. I was never doubting. I was always strong in my faith.
I don't know. You were on the Gandalf train a little bit, weren't you?
God, no.
I didn't think it was Gandalf, but I thought I could have sworn this motherfucker would like that would be too obvious.
Well,
Never mind.
Kyle, you two are gonna have to get down on your fucking knees. No.
Well, the most interesting plot has been revealed. I don't want to watch anymore.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let's quit.
No. Like I said at the beginning, this is why the hobbits are remarkably resistant to the Rings of Power.
That's so stupid, though.
That's what I was gonna
Because
do, yeah.
Sauron is
dumb.
like, I feel bad for that one fucking little like hobbit thing.
Wait
I
a
didn't have
second.
sex
Wait,
with."
But
Arch.
they're Harfoots, not even hobbits.
Arch, didn't I say that back then?
No.
Are you taking
Jesus,
all my
Dev.
good
Hold on,
takes
hold on,
for
hold on.
yourself?
Son of a slut.
You're
Dev did say it,
stealing
actually.
my
Yep,
takes.
Dev agreed.
That
Yeah,
is
Dev took that.
horseshit, Dev Rudy.
Yep, Dev.
Hold on,
That's the
Lilith.
Dev take.
Lilith, you gotta break the tie here.
Come on, Lilith. We already broke the tie.
Hi.
Dev's right.
I'm pretty sure you said something along those lines, Steph.
Yeah, he said so
Yeah.
after I said it. He parroted me like the little p he is.
I think Arch is a parrot here.
Wait, can't the elves just mine it themselves?
The sun itself.
Like, you guys know how to mine, right?
The land belongs to the dwarves.
No.
How could we possibly match the powers that rule?
Oh, simple. We just make rings.
Oh, then my guy's gonna make the Rings of Power with this? Are you serious?
Yes.
Wait, were the rings of power made out of mithril?
No.
No.
Oh.
And the elves must
They were
But it
crafted
doesn't
with
matter, Dev.
magic. Don't explain to us how the rings are made. Don't explain to us how the rings are made.
They're gonna explain. It's in the fucking title, you much.
No.
Okay, so
No.
Okay, hold.
how Bran seems fucked.
How far did she just ride?
A few hundred miles at least.
They just galloped all the way to
Oh my
elf
God.
capital. Was it Linden?
From the
Yeah,
Southland?
didn't they have
days.
to get there by ship?
He survived a week on horseback.
Yep.
There's no way they traveled that far in 6 days.
Oh, fuck me gently.
Listen, he's just a Giga Chad, all right.
I'm pretty sure that's over 600 miles, or 300 at the very least.
Travel that way just for
I
a
hate
bed.
the show.
In a hospital bed.
Yep.
Let me open up a map
Like-
of Middle Earth on the second page.
Couldn't they have just moved the healers over there? Like,
They just
with their
fast traveled.
stuff?
They just fast traveled.
There are no enemies nearby. Oh god, she's right.
Of course she is. She was always right, Dev.
No.
Whatever the fuck.
Dev.
200.
Dev.
Okay, Linden 200, 400, 600. Dude, that's like almost 1,000 miles if I'm doing that correctly.
I knew that somehow.
A fast horse.
There's no way. No way.
All I could do was swim.
Yeah, I know. We watched you swim for like a whole fucking episode. And it was retarded.
It was really bad.
You know what upsets me? That style of makeup that makes their pores look enormous. It just kind of makes me feel like I'm developing tryptophobia.
Swim.
Their faces look very holy now.
Yeah, don't they? Like it's that lighting and that makeup style, and they just look like they're bumpy.
Well, they are ascended beings, Kibs.
Make it cold so their pores close.
But you don't get it. You don't get it, do you?
I don't care about getting it. I don't want their pores to close.
Remember when
You
in
said
the
holy.
movies where Galadriel just looked completely flawless and like shiny because that's what elves are supposed to be?
That's just photoshopped.
I mean, that's the point, though.
Unrealistic
of-
beauty standards.
All of Galadriel's OnlyFans pics are photoshopped.
What is this place?
Why is she special? This is my forge.
Was the workshop of Celebrimbor?
The door arches are curved.
Come on now. Okay. Hammer home how right I was. Let's add in a time differential as well. Let's make Halbrand Sauron 2.
Oh God.
Because
Wait, hold
now
on.
he's in the forge. Now he's like, oh, but it's like maybe I could make a ring that could, like, yes, maybe.
The master I apprenticed to used to speak of the wonders of your craft. I never
See,
thought I'd ever get
he's
the
a
chance to see
smith
him.
too.
Oh my God. So they're gonna have
He
two
was.
Saurons. Wait, you know what it'll be? It'll be
Oh
like
no! What if I feel like the hobo could be a red herring.
I've
Maybe.
never seen
It still is a red herring. I believe.
or they could be like both Saurons, and you gotta combine them into like one guy, like a fusion dance.
Oh god, he splintered his soul or something.
Yeah.
Of Valinor. Couldn't the right alloy also amplify those qualities?
I'm super smart, by the way.
Somebody needs to be, once again, begging Arch for forgiveness and calling him smart.
He's fucking Sauron too. Arch is wrong again.
Listen to me, I'm Halbrand. I come from Mordor. I know everything about magic metal and shit. Which you, the 10,000-year-old smith, would never know, retard.
A gift.
See, he's Sauron
A
too.
gift.
They're all everyone's Sauron.
I'm a Sauron. It's like Battlestar Galactica. We're all Cylons. We're all Cyrons.
I hear online that this Fazaron guy is also Sauron. This like Mark's here.
No,
He is.
Fazaran is not Sauron. He
Yeah, no-
was manipulated by Sauron.
Okay, so who's gonna start talking to him, manipulating him?
Well, I'm sure Halbrand will probably pop him again soon or something.
Draftsmen from across
Or I think they've just dropped the entire Numenor plot line.
so they can
Maybe she's Sauron too.
each of you will be granted 1 hour with the king.
Their understanding of art is really advanced.
Use it well.
And now they've got paper instead of that fucking papyrus shit they were having earlier.
I want to see Mommy Milkers one more time before I go.
Let me feel with my hand.
By the way, for all of the flaws of House of the Dragon, they did a much better dying king set of scenes than this show did.
You're mistaken. I'm
Wait, what? What do you mean next up? Fuck off.
So know this: if the old ways of our
Sorry,
people are
that's
not
too pop-up.
restored, our island will fall.
Sink, but yes.
I mean, this king
Kyle
is
makes
about
this
dying.
mistake too in Barrow Trauma. Like, our ship is falling. No, Kyle, it's sinking.
Well, it falls to the ocean bottom.
Oh my god, the Rings of
Oh,
Power
I think it works.
is gonna die in time?
Wait, he
Oh.
vanished. Uh-oh.
Maybe he's Sauron.
He got spry all of a sudden.
Don't do as I did.
This is a rather random plot point.
This is.
I feel like this only exists so we have some reason to care about whomever this is.
Yeah, because to be honest, besides her boobs, there's not much else to her.
And her tits could be bigger.
Yeah, they could
They
use
could
a bit.
CGI those up a little bit.
Well, you don't want it too big, otherwise they get droopy and
I
saggy.
don't know. Like, they could be larger.
Precisely what manner of object?
It
A
would be
ring.
smaller than previously imagined. Something that could be carried. A scepter, perhaps.
A sword?
Or perhaps a crown.
Is it cringe?
Why a crown?
A circular form will be ideal.
Oh.
Allowing the light to arc back upon itself in one unbroken round, building to a power that is all but...
This is so stupid. God help
That's
me.
how rings work.
You would place all that power upon the brow of one being?
You've just ruined the mystery.
Suggestions were but the key that unlocked the dam. We are on the cusp of crafting that.
Jesus, they really want to. Okay.
Strength, but of spirit. Not of the flesh, but over flesh.
Oh, Galadriel's gaydar is tingling. Wait, hold on. Are you a traitorous faggot?
Are you Sauron?
Lord Killer.
This, again, the fucking storytelling. Do we need a rebellious moment here? Do we need the scene where he goes like, no, I'll do it anyways? Do we need that? Why the fuck do we
Yes,
need that?
We need more drama to keep the viewers engaged.
Like fucking... Oh, God.
Drama no matter what. That's probably what the school taught them.
Don't
Whatever
worry,
writing
me
school they came from.
disputers.
If they went to school.
I was conferring with my smiths, I think. I believe those are my words.
Was Halbrand with you?
Oh my God, the fucking Mithrils make him do it.
What does it matter?
Of course.
Oh wait, so
What
wait.
does it matter?
All Mithril has the same corrupting powers? That'd be
That means
ridiculous.
Frodo was wearing a shirt of that shit.
I am owed that much.
No, I think they're suggesting that Halbrand somehow talked him into it. Like, the problem is, all of this bullshit drama is replacing the drama we should have, which is Halbrand very, very, very slowly talking the elves into this idea. Like, suggesting, hinting. Instead, he just walks in there and goes like, what have you made it into a ring? Like, oh, brilliant. I love how Halbrand is just a part of the smithing crew now. Like, you told me something incredibly obvious. Be my apprentice.
Yeah, we needed like 3 or 4 scenes of him talking to that guy and like getting him warmed up to it. Not just, oh, he's here now.
What gets to me is just like, until now, we've never even heard of Halbrand being like a ring maker or metal worker much. I don't think,
we
right?
saw him like one scene doing it in fuck, what was it called? The island.
Yeah, he's fucked around with the forge like twice.
Yeah,
I can see how this was
Okay,
pitched in
maybe
the
I just
fucking
didn't remember.
boardroom.
But like, I don't think it was like ever stated that he was like a super expert at it, though.
just that he wanted
Well,
to do
so
it.
far he's been a traveler, a sailor, a smith, a king.
The truth, I can still hardly believe it. Someone like me. Here.
Yeah.
Someone like me, Sauron.
Right next to you, Galadriel. You've been looking for me for so long.
Thank you, Galadriel,
For bringing you here,
for saving my life.
as you saved mine.
She saved Sauron's life.
Balanced.
No.
No, you've done far more than that for me.
Yes.
I know but giving up. But you believed in me.
Oh my God, that's true, she did!
Me. You pushed me to heights that no one else could have.
See,
Oh my God! He's
this
confessing.
in a better show, this would have been an excellent fucking scene.
And I'll see to it that no one else does either.
See, if this was in a show where you never suspected who this guy was, this would have been a fucking good scene. But it isn't. It's in the Rings of Power.
It would be it would be one of those scenes where like on your second watch through you could see all the little things.
Yep. And he's like, you believed in me. You pushed me. You made me stronger. Like, that would have been a fucking chills scene if it wasn't in the Rings of Power.
The more the veil will weaken.
Veil.
The one placed upon your mind by those who cast you down. But we have come here to welcome
See,
you
they're trying to fucking do the
to
two
our
thing.
land.
Me stars.
It is called the Hermit's Hat. A pattern visible in but one place. Far to the east, where the stars are strange.
I don't think that's how that works.
You fell from the stars, yet you are greater than they.
Why is everyone echoing?
Obeys your will.
Because it's dramatic.
Below the dust. In time, he will learn to control his powers. For now, bind him.
They're messing up my hair.
Oh, look. It's a little... Can't say that on YouTube.
Well,
It's a horror food.
Oh, God, I hate the Harfoot so much.
They're really bad.
Now's our chance.
To get what? Fucking killed?
Yeah, what are you expected to against him?
They're just gonna set you on fire.
They're Harfoots. They've got gorilla means, okay? They're
Seems like
basically like little Vietnamese people.
Seems like the Ewoks, like they'll swing logs down.
When the trees start speaking Harfoot, oh, they just left him. Okay, never mind.
Well,
Oh,
they didn't. We're gonna get
No
a jump.
guards,
We're
no
gonna get
nothing.
the third person's gonna show up at the last second. Gotcha, kids.
She's got to show off screen.
Watch
And
this.
it's gonna be,
Oh
she's
no!
gonna be
The
behind
third
him.
person is the bad bitch. Okay, that was kind of a clever double. Like, it doesn't
was.
make sense because the Harfoots were looking straight at them when they did this, but details.
Hey! Brandyfoot! Run!
Run! Oh no, a tiny Harfoot is,
Oh no!
Yes! Yes!
Goodbye.
Thank you. Now twist the knife. Make sure. No, he fell off screen, he's still alive. No!
That's unfortunate. He is still alive.
Fuck. Well, it was a good
Blackman
shot.
dies. Our cheers.
Actually, you know what? So on Andor this week, of the 6 main characters, there was 2 black guys and they killed them both. All the black people are dying on TV right now.
But tragically, both the lesbians survived.
Hey, listen. They're both kind of cute.
I don't know about that.
I do.
Jedi force push.
I'm sorry. That was really
How
bad.
is that shoal sticking to your head there, woman? It's a bit weird.
Wait, how is Sauron losing the mage fight? I just
I don't
noticed
know,
her
he's
staff is
losing.
the
No,
eye.
all his powers yet.
Look at her staff, it's the eye.
Well, yes, Dev. Are you some kind of dev? Oh, cool, batarangs. Okay, that was
God.
pretty funny.
That was
like
good. The lottery.
We're back.
That's
Dear
kind of
Lord.
disrespectful to your master.
Yeah, exactly.
If I were Sauron, I'd just be like, "You're fired."
Bonk.
Okay, I like that.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna stone her.
Defeated by nuts and berries. Oh, she
comedy
can't
now.
detect them anymore.
DJ, I'm really mad. I'm gonna burn all of you.
They're hidden behind leaves. Everybody. Uh oh. I mean, couldn't she just like light everything on fire like she did before?
Yep, that's what she need to do. Oh shit.
Come on, please kill at least one of the Harfoots. I pray. One of them, at least.
Nah, they got too much plot armor.
One, oh, me Harfoots. They're burning.
This is just a normal California summer after a gender reveal party.
See, now, if anything, I am slowly growing more skeptical because they're laying on the herring a little bit too thick right now.
It's
Yeah.
very thick.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is the
what
problem,
what
though.
if it reveals that this is how Gandalf was formed?
Yeah.
The issue is they're double layering the story so thick that neither outcome makes sense anymore.
Yeah. My $20 is in limbo. Wait, is he just surviving? After getting stabbed in the gut?
I mean, you fuckers still have knives. You could just stab them. Check with the batarangs, could throw them.
Shadow, you came. To Shadow, I bid you return.
He is not Sauron. He is the other. The East.
Yep, I was right.
Suck it! Get on your knees!
I'm good!
Oh, they're ring wraiths.
Wait, how?
They can't be ring wraiths. They're just
Of
regular
course they
wraiths.
can be ring wraiths, Scott.
They're moths.
Yeah. Large.
They're ring wraiths, Kyle.
He's Nistar.
Okay, so which wizard is he then?
No.
I hope it's the White Wizard.
Saruman?
Yep, Sauron.
Sadek?
Before he became a, black-pilled wizard. Oh, thank God he's gonna die. Oh, he's gonna be saved by magic.
Please, TV show. At least give me this.
They're gonna.
You don't think the mage is gonna heal him?
Nope. Because he just
I hope
nodded.
not.
He's like, yep, I'm not healing you. He pissed off the priest one too many times in the dungeon. Oh God, that's quick. He's going fast.
He's going sitting up.
And some still say his skeleton's there to this day. I'm having fun with this episode. Not the
Thing
way it's
is-
intended.
I'm still not even sold that he's a wizard. Because the problem is, he can't be a wizard from the timeline. And they have
Oh, he can't
doubled
be.
back on what he is so many times.
He can be because they're just making shit up at this point.
Yeah,
Oh, they are, but the thing is, they've doubled back on this like 12 times now. From good to evil to evil to good to good to evil.
Keep you guessing, right?
What they're doing is, they made the Balrog show up, and the wizard show up, and Mount Doom first erupt, all like this in the same week, and these things did not happen anywhere close to each other in the timeline.
You're doing well.
It's just very convenient that they all happen all at once, Steph.
Come then.
The issue is too, though,
I have you.
the wizards are around in the Third Age, which means that Amazon literally does not have the rights to the wizards.
Hey, wait a second. She's down in the hold of the ship practicing. I mean, the implication is that she's practicing being blind in public so that no one knows she's blind. That's what it seems like's happening right now. But in the last episode, there was that scene of her on the deck of the ship with her blindfold on.
I could have left her there.
Yes.
Could have refused to follow her to
Yes, Dev. Yes, it doesn't make sense, Dev. Come here, Dev. Dev.
Yes.
Yet at every turn, I made the choices I did.
This is the Rings of Power in a nutshell right here. This is why even that theoretically great scene with Halbrand is actually shit, because this is what the show does normally.
Maybe Taftash had the right idea, getting sick and bowing out.
It's like, this entire blind plotline is... It feels like one of the two showrunners wrote half of it, and the other guy wrote the other half, and they never spoke about it. So one's like, oh, she'll be a really strong queen, because she'll try to pretend not to be blind. And the other guy's like, well, she's blind now, I guess she's got a blindfold.
You gotta make her a demon hunter from Warcraft. Kibs gets it. Because he's actually playing Warcraft right now. You fucking Blizzard shill traitor.
This episode's actually been the most entertaining. Not for any good reasons, but because it's very funny.
Come what may.
I'm just very glad that at least one of the Harfoots is finally dead.
Like, this is the first time I've enjoyed the show. Like, wow.
I'm just very glad the show's almost fucking over. Are we really doing season 2?
Yes,
You guys.
Dev.
Yeah, but it's in 2 years' time, so I
Yeah,
wouldn't worry
in
too
for a
much
penny,
about it.
in for a pound.
Oh god.
And by then we'll be dead. One of us will have died of old age. Arch.
My bet is on Dev.
I can't fucking wait.
Time to pretend to not be blind in front of all the people who've seen me with a blind. Oh,
No,
my
she hasn't,
Jesus,
my
fuck
fuck.
me in this hole.
All right.
Oh, hi. Oh, Jesus. All right, well, never mind.
So, what specifically was she practicing down there?
It was practicing pissing me off.
What's wrong?
Black flags, ma'am. Your fucking dad's dead. Ta-da!
You're right. Black flags.
I feel bad for the guy that go up to that fucking mountain to do that one.
Yeah.
He's just hanging there. It's like, Jim, I'm gonna need you to go up there. Like, please, no.
It's a living.
Man, I would have felt really bad if I knew who the fuck this guy was.
It's Santa.
If only he had any screen time.
Staring at him with loving eyes.
Oh,
Oh, they died.
What the fuck happened?
no, this is the elves again. They're making the rings and they're fucking up a bit.
Oh, you idiots.
Oh my god, I thought it was a terrorist attack. Like, there were 9/11 in Numenor.
Also, hold the fuck on. Who puts their smith in at the top of a tower?
Enough for today. Perhaps
Thank
we've
you.
been pushing ourselves too hard.
Galadriel.
Pushing ourselves too hard.
That's
Supposing
it.
that's the trouble.
Oh god, it is.
Supposing
Of course it
we're
is.
using Too much force.
Fucking hell.
That's it. I've got it now.
Why didn't I think of that?
Drawn or coaxed together. Now, if that's true.
Goddamn, Galadriel just has to do everything in the show.
Inside out.
Yes, because this is how metal works. You see, sometimes you gotta pet the metal, and then it'll just, bind with other metals. That's how this works.
That's how it's doing a good job.
Here's this thing.
Stroke it gently, and then it'll become iron. And that's how steel is made. You whisper gently into the ears of iron and copper and steel. Armor. God, I just read something really shocking. Stupid.
And it rolled away from me because it's on a scroll.
Not until you tell me who you are.
Gasparoni.
You know who I am.
Who you really are.
Galadriel, I'm afraid I don't.
Uh-oh.
There's no king of the Southlands. The line was broken. The last man to bear your crest died over 1,000 years ago. He had no heir.
I read there, he had no hair.
No, on the raft, you saved me.
On the raft, you saved me.
You convinced Miriel to save the men of Middle-earth.
You convinced her.
He's
I
Sauron.
wanted to remain in Numenor.
The evil music is revealing it to us.
And mine.
Tell me your name.
I have been awake since before the breaking of the first silence. In that time, I have had many names.
Why would you reveal it here, though?
Again, this should be a good scene, but the acting's fucking up a bit here. Like, Letter's actually doing okay, but there should have been a bit more of a smile on his face. He should have been a little bit more sinister. They should have shaded him a bit more.
Also, he hasn't made the rings yet. This isn't when you... Oh, God, alright.
Well, he's made her into a coma now, so it's fine. Hello, I'm the brother from episode 1. I've had a grand total of 5 seconds of screen time, but you should remember me.
He was seeking a power, not to destroy Middle-earth, but to heal it.
He's the good guy.
Just as your fellow elf. Why would you say such a thing?
Damn them CGI tears.
Galadriel. Galadriel.
You can't even get the actors to actually cry anymore. Jeez.
Galadriel. Look at me!
Oh, now we're on the ship.
Galadriel.
Well, the ship.
You know who I am. I am your friend.
I want her to start pulling on the thing again.
It's just gaslighting. This is like, oh, I'm gonna take you to a fantasy world to gaslight you nonstop.
I told you that I had done evil and you did not care. Because you knew that our past meant nothing. Weighed against our future.
There is no
Wait,
such future.
so women make him evil? Sauron's actually good?
He got dumped by Galadriel, and that's why he turns evil. He's an incel. I get it now.
Yeah, that was a forced scene. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Ah, God damn it. There's fucking meat to this. That's what annoys me, but there's no setup. And I really... I fucking hate his actor when it comes to this. Like, he doesn't have that charisma that he really should have here, that gravitas.
Stronger than the foundations of the earth.
Oh my god, taking that line from the fucking movie.
My king. The Dark Lord.
No. Not dark. Not with you at my side.
I mean, I think this guy could do it, but they just needed an actual show behind it and not just this nonsense.
The romance thing is very cringe, though, I will say that much.
See.
Without me, your people will fade. And the shadow will spread and darken to cover all the world. You need me.
I should have left you on
I don't mind that because he's the one trying to seduce her, and there's no indication that he actually necessarily gives a shit, but he wants her power, and, you know, she's got him by the balls.
When you tell them that Sauron lives because of you!
And you will die because of me!
Okay, that too was just... Oh, fuck. See, like... He doesn't look like Sauron because you give him slit eyes. Like, this isn't how this works.
Not gonna lie. This is really dumb.
No. This is the cleverest the show has ever been, which is sad.
Clever for show, terrible for Lord of the Rings.
But the thing is, this works if only it had been constructed better. If only it had been acted better, shot better.
If only it wasn't this.
Like, this is a genuinely fine story point, but very poorly delivered.
Seaside, when I was first orphaned. I was alone, a young half-elven boy without friend or kin.
Oh, Arch. The comments corrected us from last week. Elrond apparently always was a half-elf. Also, wait a second. How does that prove that Elrond's real if that's something that Galadriel knows and Sauron can just take it from her mind?
Can he take it from her mind? Does he have that Jedi power?
Yeah, that's what he's been doing this whole time. Like, you'd have to ask a question that you didn't know the answer to, but would sound real to you when they gave it to you.
What happened by that stream?
You spoke to me once of a mistake. When you said you would not make again.
Just tell him.
You are making that promise very difficult to keep.
Were it easy, it would not require trust.
Really, bitch? You're gonna just sweep this one under the rug?
Why wouldn't you tell everyone? Why wouldn't you tell everyone this was Sauron?
Oh, she has to be mysterious. To be cryptic for no reason.
Three?
Why 3?
I want one.
One
That's
will
why.
corrupt. 2 will divide.
But with 3, there is balance.
And we each
Makes
get
no
one.
sense.
Must be for the elves alone. Untouched by other hands.
Oh shit.
God, we've
She's an ethno
literally
nat.
rewritten the entire fucking origin of the Rings of Power.
In the Anway.
You had potential, Arch. I was like, nah!
I need gold and silver of the most exquisite quality. I need gold and silver from Valinor. True creation requires
The dagger.
sacrifice.
Oh, God, and now she can melt that down to cut herself from her brother. Oh, God, that's okay.
Do you remember anything more yet?
Fragments.
Oh, look, the Harfoots are settling down to farm like nomadic communities usually do.
This is the origin story as to why the hobbits started to settle.
Wrong about your name.
It's awful, but you know.
In your tongue, that means wise one. Or
Wizard.
wizard.
Yeah.
Archie, you were wrong.
No, I'm still not admitting it.
You can't. You've been defeated.
I can. I absolutely can, because they've made him good and then evil and then evil and then good again and again. This is just another part of it.
So
you
which
have to beg for forgiveness, Arch.
Because he can't be a wizard. Literally. There is no way he can be.
Why? It said wizard on the screen.
Because the wizards were specifically sent as a response to Sauron.
Yeah.
And they were sent in the Third Age.
So it was a bit like an adventure.
Sorry,
It's
Arch,
over,
but that's
Arch.
old lore.
They
It's
were
been
sent in
changed.
preparation for
Yeah, give
Sauron.
it the time, boomer.
Huh?
At least we're almost done, I think.
Kibs, hover
No.
over it.
It's like 20 minutes left.
Oh,
Arch, jump out a
fuck.
window. I would rather do something else right now. The funny parts are over. I'm no longer enjoying this.
Wish the old cult were still with us.
I don't. I'm quite happy we killed at least one Harfoot.
One casualty is a good start.
It's a beginning. You know,
Wait,
we've got
is
a
he
long
the
way to go.
Is he the only named character that's dead? In the entire season?
I think so.
Well, the king was named, so, you know, kind of.
Well, but he wasn't a character.
That's true.
So technically, the black guy did the first.
Oh, good. So she's only gonna follow her story with the star. We don't have to fucking watch the rest of them in season 2.
Well,
that's sort of
I'm
a
going
victory.
on an adventure.
Maybe
She's
all of the others
just
will
a
be
begging.
wiped out off screen.
Hopefully.
Best part is, what they've done here is they basically said that it was actually women were the first adventuring hobbits.
Let's see.
Little girl, what the fuck? Where'd she come from?
They just breed real fast.
Jesus Christ.
You know, after sex, an acorn pops out of the woman's vagina. In 2 or 3 weeks after planting, it'll just sprout right up.
Anus dev. Not vagina, that'd be weird.
Make it gross, March. I know it's hard for you. He's like, Marge has
And a Harfoot without manners is a
preferences. I feel bad for these poor actors. They were like, oh, that's going to be great for my career. It's going to look great. Like, rest in peace, bro.
Oh,
You know
look,
what I will
Hannah
say?
got like a sign language thing.
I will actually say one good thing about the Harfoots: their music, their aesthetic, their accents. It reminds me a lot of that GameCube game, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. It's the exact same like theming.
Irish? And dirty?
Yeah.
Sick of the Harfoots now. Kill them all. Move on. Their dirty hair. Their dirty hands. Their dirty faces.
Yeah, it feels like they've
I
done
want no
this
more
this
of them.
goodbye scene like 3 big hugs now.
They kind of have, because there's also different stories where they're doing, like, goodbye things.
Yeah.
We have to get one for every story. We have yet to get one for the Black Elf. Or maybe the
By
Black
the
Elf
way,
story's over.
there's some race mixing going on here, and yet all of the children are white. Explain.
One gene is stronger than the other, apparently.
Oh.
Oh no, Fat Sam!
Arrogant of you.
No!
Well, Sam was always kind of fat.
Ploppy. Actually, Ploppy would be a better name. Ploppy.
Don't come with. Don't come with.
Why does everyone I love the most always have to go away?
I don't know. It's never happened before, so, you know.
Is she gonna come along?
No, please.
Oh, Ploppy.
You'll come back. Promise.
It sounds like she's not okay. See, the whole reason that you had to have Frodo and Sam is thematically is because by the end of the journey, when Frodo couldn't do it, Sam could do the rest of it, and he was supposed to be the anchor back to the ordinary world. That was the point of their friendship. Well, it's Jesus Christ, Arch. It's more that like there's that final.
No. He literally was a manservant.
He was. But there was that final scene where Frodo says, "There's no veil between me and the Ring of Fire." And he's basically saying that the ring's influence has made him forget everything good in life and he is absorbed by nihilism. And Sam had to be that anchor back to what was meaningful in life.
Constantly reminding him about the strawberries and everything else and good in the world.
Yeah. But you don't need a Sam character for this kind of journey.
If you lead off, when in doubt, Eleanor Brandyfoot.
Always follow your nose.
Always follow your nose.
God damn it, Arch. How do you know?
It's a saying. How do you not know, Dev? God.
It's Gandalf. Fuck me, I hate it.
I love it because Barch is me and he is.
Thing is, I'm still not sold on it either.
You will
because
be.
Sauron was a Maiar as well.
Yeah, but he's different Maiar. He's old.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. They're not. The Maiar are the Maiar.
Up on the double fake. It's over, Barch. You lost. You gotta have one.
The Maiar are the Maiar.
But Kibs, my $20.
Listen, Dev. It was that or defeating Barch. A worthy sacrifice.
You know, you really should have removed the, blade from that first. That's gonna fuck up the composition something awful.
Yeah, but the blade is... The implication is that the handle is the gold and the blade is the silver.
Yep.
Dev, do I need to teach you about how soft silver is?
Oh no, I know, but the show doesn't know. The show doesn't know.
And even then, you wouldn't mix the silver and the fucking gold. That's dumb too.
Well, the idea is they're mixing silver, gold, and mithril to make the magic of the rings.
Yeah, but they're not mithril in there, though.
Hold on, though. Hold on a second. So, the original story was that they made all the rings. There was 9, 5, and 3 at the same time, but also that Sauron made a hidden ring at the same time.
Yes.
But they're only making 3 right now?
Yes.
They're making them at different times now.
That's why we gotta have like 5 fucking seasons so they can make the rings little by little.
Just drop that shit in.
See, this is how you make an alloy right here. You just fucking plump that bitch down there and voila.
It's like a magical.
Look, it's an eye. Guess
oh my god,
it's evil.
Making cabbage soup.
There you go. It didn't need pressure, it just needed light stirring. Like most metallic alloys. They got to bend them. Oh, that's brilliant. That's actually brilliant.
I prefer the scene in the movies where there are like 5 elves wailing on it with hammers.
Elrond is getting suspicious.
He's doing his CSI thing.
That paper would not be
yes,
legible after this.
Yeah.
It's magic ink. Don't think about it.
Magic paper.
Right, hold on. Halbrand isn't who he said he was. Ah yes, completely uncut gems. Brilliant.
It's just pop rocks.
Whoops, I'm too late. Bitch already corrupted. Well, fuck.
Wait, how is it corrupted? Wait, what if that's... Sauron was just like...
Those are Sauron's rings.
Sauron's just like, listen, if you use gold and silver, it'll actually make them my rings. It's like, why?
Yes, you've already shown us this shot. You missed your opportunity to end credit screen. Although, that being said, end credit screen in... what, 10 seconds?
We need to see what Halbrand's doing.
He's going to Mordor, of course.
Yes, I like a tower right over there. No, a little bit more to the right.
Now end credit in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blackness.
Nice hovering your mouse ahead, Barge. You little shit.
I like how they're now singing how they were actually made, and they've shown that no, they didn't do that.
I feel like I just had an hour-long aneurysm.
This is more funny.
No, like, the issue is, once more, they've completely violated absolutely everything. Like, there's no reason for the story to progress at this point. Like, the elves have made their rings, right, completely separate from anything else. Halbrand had no influence on these 3 rings whatsoever beyond going, maybe you should put them in a centrifuge instead. There is no reason or rationale for him to have any power over them. Like, it was very specifically made clear in the original that the rings were made by Sauron's direction. You know, he'd pre-planned this. He had written it into those rings that they would be bound by the One Ring. Like, it's literally coded into them, but there's no reason for these rings to be. Now, what is the rationale for making more?
They'll make up a rationale.
But that's exactly the problem. Like, they will just make it the fuck up.
Well, that's been the whole problem with the entire show since episode 1. It's all made up. None of this matters. None of this has mattered since the beginning. None of this mattered now.
Let's assume that you wanted to do the exact same plot line, but good. Okay? Now, the plot already sucks, but let's assume all the major plot beats are going to be in place, okay? We're talking that the elves still need the mithril to stay alive.
Oof.
Halbrand is still going to be Sauron in the end.
Oof.
And still, you know, finds on the ocean, finds Galadriel. Like, how would you do this show but better? Well, you'd actually have to take more time and develop like an actual blossoming relationship between Galadriel and Halbrand. There would have to be a real seduction there. He would actually have to like worm his way into places a little bit more. He did that a bit on Numenor. He didn't do it anywhere else. And honestly, like, it feels like they had to do that big battle scene in the Southlands to turn it into Mordor, and then they had to get Halbrand from Mordor to Lindon to have the let's corrupt the elves bit to make the rings, and then have him reveal himself. They just rushed it all. They did it all in one episode. Like, that should have been a full season on its own, Halbrand with the elves.
This, I'm about to agree with you and say that this is a question about time. Halbrand's character needed far more development, but it's a question of using the time. The show has so much time, but it's wasted on stupid shit. The problem is, too, Halbrand was sus from the beginning because he's a king of the Southlands. We know that's not true. He's been set adrift by corsairs. We know that's not true. This is an era of unrivaled peace, and he's in the middle of nowhere. Like, the setup is far too suspect for anyone to ever look at Halbrand with a neutral view, because he's set up that way. Because the show falls into its own trap, where it's like, okay, we need everyone to think that everybody is Sauron, but that just means that your Sauron reveal will fall flat regardless of which character you make Sauron. It's the same problem with the wizard. They've gone back and forth on him being good and evil like 6 or 7 times. And even now, the only claim to him being good is that he says that he's an Ishtar. And then there's a Maiar, more correctly. Which, again, Sauron's a Maiar, too. There's also the obvious copyright problems here, and this is one of the things where Amazon is just going to do this because they know the Tolkien estate can't challenge them, but the wizards are specifically a Third Age property. Amazon does not have the copyright to them in the same way that they do not have the copyright to the Hobbits, which is why they're Harfoots.
Well, Arch, these are just going to be some new wizards that we haven't seen before, and they're all going to die before the Third Age.
That would be the way they'd have to do it.
this is something that I've seen with a lot of shows. All right, like any show that has been made in the past 5 years that you see a lot of YouTube channels like watching and complaining about, and it's like, oh my god, it's so bad. I see this. I can see like deep within all the shit, the foundation of a possibly good show if they just did everything differently.
But unironically, the scenes between Halbrand and Galadriel in this show should have been the culmination of a story. Instead, he recites a handful of times where Galadriel did a handful of things, and that entire story could be compacted into a single hour or less. Like, it's not enough time, and there's not enough subtlety in the plot. Like, it needed more time to develop, and it needed more subtlety. It should have been what they should have done. That entire scene where Halbrand's like, okay, you made me strong, etc. That should have been the big reveal. It shouldn't then have had a second reveal scene afterwards. That should have been the big reveal, because they undermined the second reveal massively as well. And what you do is, you put them two up, you have like, oh, you know, you drove me, and then you hear the hammer blow of the rings being crafted like, dum. And then you have a flashback to Galadriel chasing him and driving him off so that he ended up on that raft. You were the one who made me strong, another dum of the rings being crafted. And showing her, like, forcing him to run around and like, become strong, and blah, blah. Make up something like that, yeah? That would have been good, because at that point, it would have been too fucking late. Galadriel would have realized her error as it was already too late. The rings were already crafted, Sauron's plot was already complete, and there's nothing she can do about it. Instead, now, we have to have some roundabout plot where a bunch of more rings need to be crafted. It will require Galadriel to stay silent about this plot she knows is in the offing for God only knows how many more seasons. And it will require Halbrand to also make another Master Ring without any involvement in the other rings. If the secret ingredient is Mithril, just make another ring. Just make a ring that says like, 14 rings, and in the light bind them. Haha.
Just the new version. I also realized we didn't see
mass produce them.
We didn't see the Black Elf, and we didn't see the dwarves this time around. I guess they're just out. They're done.
I do think that the Black Elf storyline is complete, though, because that sword arc is over. His arc is gone. He has no reason to be in the show anymore. If they bring him back, they'll bring him back.
Have to come up with one.
They won't. I think the story's moving on past that. I think he was just an introductory, like, to the whole fucking back lore as to why Mordor's foundation is. Because there's an obsession with, we have to demystify everything and show you everything.
Well, no, the problem now is Halbrand's in Mordor, so now there's going to be a conflict with him and Adar, because Adar said specifically that he didn't want to serve Sauron. And then there'll have to be a redemption arc for him, which will include Black Elf.
Well, we've got 4 more seasons to go to see.
You know what's exciting, though? The next season's going to be great. And here's why. Because you know their budget's going to be lower. So, like, there's going to be a serious quality drop in everything. As the show goes on, it'll probably be comical. If I had to hope, right?
Probably. Because already, the only thing's really impressive about this show is the occasional visuals. And, God, like, the problem, too, is the shooting. The shooting is so fucking bad. Like, Halbrand, like, when he is revealing that he is Sauron, you should be shooting him, you should have a slight shadow on his face, or he should look beatific, like he should look angelic almost, with a hint of darkness. You should be shooting him from below and up, making him look sinister. And the actor too, like, the actor does not deliver here in the slightest. He looks weak, soft, fleshy, human, shitty. Like,
I don't know if that's necessarily the actor's fault or more so on the... Because they waste the special effects. They should do more with it. with the elves. They should do more with it with the Sauron reveal. Because imagine if they used all that art and CG effort to really show like dark tendrils, like, wrapping around him and then slowly wrapping around Galadriel, showing that his influence was he was trying to corrupt her,
Yeah. And
They did nothing with that.
again, you do this scene, you have the hammering of the ring in the background, you have the dark speak beginning to whisper, etc. Like, you could make this a fucking impactful scene. And already, with the shit ingredients we have, already this is a fairly impactful scene. Like, imagine if they'd done it well.
Imagine all the
That's
people.
only-
But even if they did it well, it still undermines the entire story of
Hold
Lord
on.
of the Rings.
So, I just realized the priestess character looks more otherworldly than anyone else in the show.
She does. That's because of the makeup they have her wear and the fact they shorten her hair and give her contact lenses.
Yeah. Like the way she moves around and stuff, like she actually looks like she's a creature from another world.
Yeah, no, I think the actress that played the main witch lady, well, she did a pretty good job. She was kind of creepy. But the problem is, I feel bad for all these actors and actresses, even the good ones, is that, what a waste. What a waste of talent, what a waste of skill. Same for the CG artists and everyone else on board this project. Like, damn, all that fucking stuff wasted because some fucking moron writers had to change a few things. The Rings of Power audience is actually coping right now because they are using that, like, at least it's not as bad as Tolkien's work. And this is the Rings of Power audience, which goes to show that it's mostly made up of Zoomers because they're like, oh, okay. Like, the Lord of the Rings to them is Rings of Power. Like, that's their Lord of the Rings.
I don't even think that's the
They
case.
didn't even at least watch
It's
The
tragic,
Hobbit.
but it's true. A lot of people know. A lot of the newer generations, and I know them, and I have my brothers, like, they're a decade younger than me. You ask them what Lord of the Rings is, Peter Jackson films, they'll be like, the what? The who?
Well, hold on.
Wow, those are classics.
They don't
and
know
they still
that.
hold up to this day.
They do.
Well,
And it doesn't matter.
My girlfriend's a Zoomer, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I watched the original LOTR."
Yeah, because
It's
you
like, yeah.
told them. You showed
Oh no,
them.
she knew it before me.
Well, you lucked out. You got a good
Yeah.
dice roll.
Most people probably do know, but this is exactly what Amazon wants. Like, I keep making this point. This will be the future. Amazon is trying to claim the rings, the Rings Power, but Lord of the Rings. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make this the Lord of the Rings. And they would have succeeded if they'd put even the barest amount of effort into it. Because people don't remember. Hell, if people don't remember the Peter Jackson movies, they don't remember the goddamn books. Like, Jesus Christ. None of these people have read the books.
Oh yeah, the books even more so. Like, you're lucky if they've seen like the Lord of the Rings trilogy or the Hobbit trilogy. You're even more lucky if they read the books.
Amazon had an opportunity here to take over the Lord of the Rings, because they're already doing it. They're already redefining the Lord of the Rings. They're already rewriting the story. They're already making shit out of whole cloth. They have an opportunity here to just take it and own it forever. But they hired two fucking randoms off the goddamn street. I mean, they must give amazing blowjobs. It is the only explanation I can possibly posit.
You know what's interesting? They're doing exactly what Disney did to like the old Grimm's tales and stuff like that, where they're basically taking these ideas, because in the intellectual property sphere, if you take something that's in the
Public domain,
the free space, public domain, and you redefine it and you make it your own, you can monetize it. I mean, they do that with Conan all the time. The Conan video games that are coming out lately are a direct result of that, because Conan's in the public domain, if I'm 100% correct there, which I'm pretty sure it is.
Right now,
Yeah,
Winnie the Pooh is in the public domain now too.
Yeah.
Yep. So it means you can go and you can turn it into your own stuff, and then you can actually monetize it. So technically, yes, what they're going to do is what Disney did. They're going to take those public domain ideas, and what they're going to try to do is warp it and twist it enough for the newer generations by changing the lore and making it their own, that it will splinter as its own identity.
Yes. Now, granted, there's a little bit of a difference here, because what Disney did was not take public domain. Disney took the things during a time when copyright basically didn't exist.
Yep.
And they changed it just enough to not make it the same thing. And they trademarked it specifically. Like, Disney has no trademark over the original fairy tale. but they do have a trademark over their version of the fairy tale.
Yes.
It was a clever distinction, which everybody, even at the time, saw was predatory, but there was no legal framework to stop them, and so voila.
Voila.
Whereas now, if you try to make a, Snow White story, you best believe there'll be some mouse-eared lawyers on your door.
The problem with that is that the IP is actually enforced now because it's been established under Disney.
Yes, it's enforced by a company.
Yep.
Once
it's public
Wait, so
domain,
you
though,
can't
nowadays,
make like a story about Snow White, even though it's like
your
you
own.
can technically do it in a fair use sense, but you can't monetize it or stuff like that.
I don't know about that because
what if it's just not like this? What if you just don't use Disney design?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
The story of
Exactly.
Snow White predates Disney.
Well, it's not just that.
There
It's
have been
also
people that do that.
like the Alice games by American McGee. They didn't run afoul of Disney at all.
Right.
I'm not familiar with those.
Well, that's the thing.
Alice
you need
and Alice
to
Madness
make it
Returns.
so substantially different that it is obviously different. And even then, you are running a certain amount of risk. You're running a certain amount of gambit.
And Alice
I
was different.
do think American McGee might have ran into some problem if he made Alice blonde.
And if the thing is, too, American McGee's Alice revamps the character, the setting, the story, everything. Like it has virtually nothing to do with Alice anymore beyond the generalized aesthetics of Wonderland.
Yeah, that's true. They made it into like Tim Burton's Wonderland almost.
Because in you need to be able to hold up the two products, and then you need to clearly be like, this is not the same as this.
Yeah.
Listen. There's some quality hentai out there of American McGee's Alice getting with Disney's Alice.
My God, the merger's happening.
There was at points where this show seemed like it might have been good, but then they just dropped the ball so hard with shit that just makes no sense to even somebody who isn't particularly familiar with the lore. This show tries way too hard to explain everything of these big events that happened, and there's no real reason for us to really need to see it. But then the show just goes out of its way to be like, oh, look at this thing. Remember in the movies or the books? Well, this is how the sausage is made, and you're left with the same sort of disgust. I do like that it was they kept people guessing with the wizard thing. Maybe they just did that thing a bit way too hard, though.
You liked that?
No, I liked a little bit that of how the wizard was like behaving and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny, whether intentionally or unintentionally. I also feel like they definitely introduced a bit too much and not like spent enough time in places where they should have spent just to develop the more important aspects of the show.
Yeah. You know what I've realized about this? So I think we're all kind of in agreement that there's like a skeleton of a story that could have been good had they actually done it competently here. I think what they're banking on is that like in 25 years after this show is done, and the Zoomers are like middle-aged, looking back with nostalgia goggles, haven't seen the show since it first came out, they're going to think, oh man, that was a good show. You know, the Seduction of Galadriel by Halbrand? Man, that was really cool back in the day. You know, oh, you had that neat scene where like the wizard, he was bumbling around because he's like a newborn in an adult's body, and like he has to hang out with the very innocent Harfoots. Like, oh, that was like there was some cool character interaction there. And they're gonna like be remembering a completely different show than the actual show that we just watched.
You're thinking it'll get the Star Wars prequels kind of treatment. But
yeah,
I don't think so. Because the thing is, if you rewatch the Star Wars prequels, they actually do have all of the setup required to deliver Palpatine as actually a pretty fucking conniving and shrewd political coup maker, you know? All of the steps required to tell that story is there. They should have focused a lot more on it, and they should have made a lot more out of it. But here, the ingredients for Halbrand's seduction of Galadriel basically doesn't exist because he wasn't trying to seduce her up until the point where he was. Like, there was really no point previously where he was actively flirting with her or trying. Like, now suddenly it's like, be my queen. What? This wasn't for... If they had had an actual romantic relationships previously, okay. But they haven't. Like, at what point previously have Halbrand and Galadriel interacted in that way? Like, the closest we get is them being sassy at one another occasionally.
There was that one scene, I think, after the fight, and they were both sitting down on the logs, and they kind of like had a weird look, where she said, "I felt it too." That was, I think, a couple episodes ago. That was it. It was one scene.
I don't even remember that fucking scene.
There were a couple scenes throughout the show that they tried to allude to the fact that they were kind of and liking each other in a way, but they never really went far with it, and they also never really did much with it, other than they kept doing it. They planted the seeds for it, but they weren't like doing a really good job building it up.
Now, I do agree that that's what the showrunners think that they've done, because they've literally said so in interviews, like, man, 20 years, people would totally love this. Like, I don't think so. I think in 20 years, nobody will even remember that this was a thing. Like, or if they do, they'll just be like, remember when Amazon did something really stupid and it destroyed their studio? Yeah.
I remember.
Like there's a lot of epics that have come out, you know, in terms of TV shows and movies. Not, you know, Lord of the Rings, pretty epic. Harry Potter, I think, qualifies as something that people will still rewatch 10, 20, 50 years down the road. You know, there's a lot of these shows and a lot of these stories. You know, the original Game of Thrones, maybe not the last season, but, you know, there's stuff that will stand the test of time. Stuff that you could dig up years and years and years later. People will still watch and be like, that was good. Maybe a little bit dated, you know. I recently rewatched the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's slightly dated, but you know what? It's still really, really good. This show, I think, will be forgotten about. It'll be just, no one watches it in 20 years. No one gives a fuck. No one's going back to their old DVD box sets or whatever. This show will just be gone.
If it will be remembered at all, it will be remembered as Amazon's epic failure.
Yes. It'll be remembered for that $5 billion price tag, where they just burnt a giant pile of money like the Joker. What a waste of time this was. God damn it.
I don't know what you were expecting.